Welcome everyone to Clarky's Closet, a podcast. Hello everybody. Today's show is titled Once Upon a Space-Time. A futuristic play from 1999. Yes, Windsor High School, 1999 it was, and we put a big video screen up, which was, I thought it was quite clever at the time, but these days, of course, it's very commonplace. But we had lots of stuff happening on the screen as well as on the stage to explain what the hell was going on. And the basic story is there's a handful of people on a space ark, and they have no idea what they're doing there. They don't know what their history is. Something has gone wrong. And what went wrong was that there was a war between the decks of the space ark along their 10,000-year journey to Proxima Centauri. So Mary Lou is a character who is singing the opening song, and she's upset because she's never known a planet of her own, no sun of her own, S-U-N, of her own. And so she's lamenting this in the opening song. So we'll have a listen to that, and then we'll get on with the story.
Caught in the valley of the lost heart, caught in the valley of the lost soul. I keep dreaming about a love I cannot find. Caught in the valley of the lost heart, caught in the valley of the lost soul. I keep dreaming about a love I cannot find. Your love, but who am I dreaming of? I keep singing about your love, but who am I singing of? I keep dreaming about a love I'll never know. I keep singing about a thing I never own, a love I'll never know. Why do I cry? Why do I honey? I've never seen a sunlit sky, honey. I've only ever seen the solid void. The sun can I go home? The sun to call my own. The sun to call my own. And so I cry. Caught in the valley of the lost heart, caught in the valley of the lost soul. I keep dreaming about a love I cannot find. Caught in the valley of the lost heart, caught in the valley of the lost soul. I keep dreaming about a love I cannot find. I keep dreaming about your smile, but who's it smiling? I keep trying to see your face, but I can't seem to find it. I keep dreaming about a love I'll never know. I keep singing about a thing I'll never own, a love I'll never know. Why do I cry? Why do I cry, honey? I've never seen a sunlit sky, honey. I've only ever seen the solid void. The sun can I go home? The sun to call my own. The sun to call my own. And so I cry. Caught in the valley of the lost heart, caught in the valley of the lost soul.
So anyway, there are, as I said, a handful of people on board the ship, a couple of toffee-nosed people from the upper decks who think they're better than everybody else. They're very British, of course. You've got Hank, who is a bit of a weirdo. Hank is the sort of biblical type. And since everything has got mixed up over time, Hank believes in the religion of the videotapes and hates books. And he believes that Charlton Heston is God. He's got it all mixed up in his head because there have been class wars between and among the decks. Somebody smuggled dope plants on board, and there were alcohol stills, and the children of the children who were on their way to Proxima Centauri have forgotten why they went there in the first place. And we show this through the video screen, and we see various commanders of the ship throughout time lamenting the fact that the kids are going crazy and painting slogans like "slash the future" on the outside of the ship, and everything's mixed up. So you've got that basic idea. And so what happens as a result of that, as I said, is that Hank and his wife Sarsaparilla are always arguing, and Mary Lou, their daughter, really does not agree with her father, which is not unusual, of course. And she is saying, look, the books are good. And he said, well, thank God there's not any books on board. And in fact, there are hidden down below. And so it's a bit of a point of contention among them. And so this is where Hank, whose like is from the south, he sings this song, which I think this song's a little bit on the Alice Cooperish sort of a mould. At least I think my voice sounds a little bit like it. I don't know. See what you think. It's a quick song, but it's called Books is Evil.
Books is evil, they cause big trouble. They make you think and they burst your bubble. They don't teach you nothing that you might need to know. If you want to grow, watch a video, 'cause books is evil. I tell you, books is evil. I swear the books is evil. I tell you, books is evil. What's a book but a tree that's fallen, been cut into pieces with lies painted on it, disseminated like a social disease. I'm begging you, please, choose technology, 'cause books is evil. I tell you, books is evil. I swear the books is evil. I tell you, books is evil. I seen a light on a video screen. It was on Schwarzenegger in the Terminator 3. Now books is evil, they cause big trouble. They make you think and they burst your bubble. They don't teach you nothing that you might need to know. If you want to grow, watch a video, 'cause books is evil. I tell you, books is evil. I swear the books is evil. I tell you, books is evil. I tell you, books is evil. I tell you, books is evil. They lie. I swear the books is evil. They lie. I tell you, books is evil. They lie. Books is evil. I tell you, books is evil. I swear the books is evil. I tell you, books is evil.
And so you have to imagine that there's snippets of film coming up every so often onto the video screen, done by the kids at the school, and we didn't have the technology to do anything fancy, so we made fun of that by having stuff like, strings visible and all that sort of stuff. It was very, very basic, but it was actually quite funny, got a few laughs. However, the thing is that because Hank is such a maniac, at one point they go down to get food supplies and they're running out of food. But some of the food wakes up and turns out to be Albert Einstein's son. He can't believe what he's hearing, that they've been going down eating from the food locker, but it wasn't the food locker at all. It was all the scientists who were supposed to come to from suspended animation at the end of the journey when they got to Proxima. Yeah, so they've been eating all the scientists and there's only a couple left. What we do is we bring on Marie Curie and Albert Einstein himself in a box, just heads on a box. They were, of course, in a box. Heads on a box. They tell everybody what's happened. And, of course, Hank won't accept this. He's still caught up on his religion of no books and video screens he loves. And so we, of course, get a song from Albert. I quite like this one. This is called Relatively Speaking, sung by Albert Einstein as a head.
Let's give a cheer for relativity. Let's give a cheer for relativity. Relatively speaking, I feel quite okay. I feel quite okay, relatively. Relatively speaking, I feel quite okay. I feel quite okay, relatively. Dr. Harvey kept my brain in a jar at his house in the basement for 40 years. After their divorce, Mrs. Harvey found out. She yelled, "Get that damn thing out of here!" So let's give a cheer for relativity. Let's give a cheer for relativity. Relatively speaking, I feel quite okay. I feel quite okay, relatively. Relatively speaking, I feel quite okay. I feel quite okay, relatively. These are not my original eyes. Dr. Abrams ripped them out of here. They are in New Jersey in a safe deposit box. And he visits them several times a year. Hey, let's give a cheer for relativity. Let's give a cheer for relativity. Relatively speaking, I feel quite okay. I feel quite okay, relatively. Relatively speaking, I feel quite okay. Hey, all things considered, I feel quite okay, relatively.
All of that stuff is true, by the way. Dr. Abrams was a contemporary and a friend of Albert Einstein's, and he did, in fact, keep the brain of Albert Einstein for later study under his house, on the lower part of his house. And when his wife found it, she said, "Get the bloody thing out of here." And also he kept the eyes in a safe deposit box, as I say in the song. And yet, I know they've studied the brain, and they found that he had a huge number of glions. So people with medical knowledge would know what that meant. I don't. I have no medical knowledge, really, of anything that's really worthwhile. But apparently he did. He had more glions. And maybe that's why he was such an unbelievably imaginative scientist. Anyway, so we get to the end of Act 1 and Proxima is on the horizon. And we have already seen a couple of characters on Proxima, and we know that something's going on down there. There are already people there. There's already people on Proxima. So we finish off the first act with a song called Plasticine Man, which is about the boys in the colony, sung by one of the characters from the colony who have come up to meet the people on board the ship. And we start Act 2 with the Space Cannibals. Now, the Space Cannibals are a rock band of the day, and of course it's a spot for a rock band if you got one, or you can just have a look at the big screen. We filmed us doing this next song. My dad played the lead singer, and my dad was, rest his soul, he was a rather rotund Englishman, and it's pretty funny, the footage that went up. But this is the beginning of Act 2, and this is a band called the Space Cannibals.
Proxima got my eye on you too. Mommy lock your dog, daddy lock your wife. When the cannibal come, they gonna eat them alive. Won't you take just a little parental advice? Lock away your daughters and hide away the key, and make sure that them balls are stronger than me. I'll make cosmic love to 1,000 girls in 100 galaxies. I was mad as a hatter, and I'm not mad. I'm frozen energy. We made love to every individual woman, from a western spiral on to the clouds of Magellan. Daddy, if you're listening, knock your daughters away. Well, let's just say a very pretty lady from the eastern home took me for a visit to her daddy's farm. Daddy didn't like what he saw of me. Well, it's too late for him. Lock away your daughters and hide away the key, and make sure that them balls are stronger than me. I'll make cosmic love to 1,000 girls in 100 galaxies. I was mad as a hatter, and I'm not mad. I'm frozen energy.
Yes, the Space Cannibals. Rockin' the 25th century was? I can't remember. It's been a long time since I wrote all of this stuff, so I'm sort of delving back into my mind to try to remember all of the details, because I'm primarily just explaining what happened in the shows so I can play you some of the songs. Okay, so, yes, there's another duet here. Oh, and by the way, I should mention that Jessica Zamprogno was my singer. All of this stuff I did at home by myself on 8-track in the old R8 reel-to-reel for any musos out there. It was all done on 8-track. Later I digitalised it, of course, but yeah, that was originally done on. And Jessica was the only other person who helped me because, of course, I needed a female voice, which she provided in the first song we heard and which we're going to hear again now. This is another duet from the show. In fact, I'm trying to think. There are a couple of duets, and this is one of them. And this is a song called Sunday Morning Papers. So we've got two heads, and they say two heads are better than one. In this case, one of the heads is Albert Einstein, and the other head is Marie Curie, and they are singing about home on Earth and how lovely it would be to revisit the time when you could sit down with a couple of kids around you and just read the Sunday morning papers.
Sitting in the sun with the Sunday morning paper, reading as the Sunday morning sun shines through.
Sitting in the sun with a Sunday morning paper. That's the kind of thing I'd like to do. Sitting around with nothing to do, reading as the Sunday sun comes shining through. Sitting around with nothing to do, reading as the Sunday morning sun comes shining through.
The sun reading Sunday morning's paper,
Sitting in the sun reading Sunday morning's paper.
reading as our children play and love and sing.
Reading as our children play and laugh and sing.
Nothing much to do, just flicking through the paper.
Nothing much to do, just flicking through the paper.
Yes, I'd like to do that kind of
Yes, I'd like to do that kind of thing.
sitting around with nothing to do, reading as the Sunday sun comes shining through. Sitting around with nothing to do, just reading as the Sunday morning sun
Come shining through, shining through.
sitting in the sun reading Sunday morning's paper.
And so, without going into too much detail, they find out that there's all sorts of chicanery going on down on Proxima, and there's a couple of really nasty people that have taken over the colony, dictatorship type stuff. We don't actually get down to Proxima in the show, but we do see a couple of pretty horrible guys on the screen. I played one, and my friend Brian Cutler played the other. We were drama teachers there at the time. We thought we'd spend some time in the school holidays hamming it up. And so we're up on the screen basically making plans, but we get beaten in the end by the goodies, of course. And so that's basically the story. And I thought, though, before the very end of the story, there's a song that I like, again, by Hank, the man who believes that the religion of the world should be, and always should be, videoism, I guess you'd call it. The videos are the secret of life, and Charlton Heston, he is God, and that's all there is to it. So this song is called Sneaks and Snakes. You got to watch out for them, folks.
I'm living with sneaks and snakes. I'm living with freaks and fakes. It's kind of like I landed on the planet of the apes, with everyone around me in an ignorant state. I'm living with books and schools. I'm living with laws and rules, drafted by an idiot and acted by fools, dreaming of a world with science fiction rules. I dream of a world where there's no need for thinking, and the truth is as clear as a DVD. Well, if you want to make fun of me, that's just fine, but just take a look at yourself sometime. Could it be that you're blind and I'm the only person to see? Sci-fi rules, books and for fools, all of them rules of the grammar is useless in. I'm living with sneaks and snakes, and I'm living with freaks and fakes. It's kind of like I landed on the planet of the apes, with everyone around me in an ignorant state. I'm living with books and schools. I'm living with laws and rules, drafted by an idiot and acted by fools, dreaming of a world with science fiction rules. I dream of a time where the truth is as easy and as crystal and clear as the light on a video screen. Well, if you want to make fun of me, that's just fine, but just take a look at yourself sometime. Could it be that you're blind and I'm the only person to see? Sci-fi rules, books and for fools, all of them rules and the grammar is useless in. I'm living with sneaks and snakes. I'm living with freaks and fakes. It's kind of like I landed on the planet of the apes, with everyone around me in an ignorant state. I'm living with books and schools. I'm living with laws and rules, drafted by an idiot and acted by fools, dreaming of a world with science fiction rules.
And you can tell by a lot of the references, like to DVDs, of course, which are now rather passé, as I say this in 2022. We made fun, actually, at one point, of what do they call those things? Phones. I said the other day at school, I called them telephones. And the kids all said, oh, they're not telephones, they're phones. I said, well, if you want to be strict about it, they're tellies, because that means from afar, and you don't use them as bloody phones. All you do is look at the bloody things all day and don't listen in class. As I'm hoping, whenever I release this particular podcast, that they've banned the blasted things from school. It's the death of education. I think we're below Argentina now in literacy and numeracy. It's all going really well. All the government's got to do is stop the kiddies from having them for about 6 hours out of every day. I don't know whether they'll succeed. A couple of references too that you might have picked up. I saw the light on the video screen in Hank's first song. It was Arnold Schwarzenegger in the Terminator 3. I don't think he was actually in the Terminator 3, because at that stage it had only been 1 and 2 had been made. Terminator 3 or any of the others hadn't been made. So there you go. Look, it really doesn't matter what happens in the story. I mean, in the end, everybody ends up happy and see that they've done the wrong thing and makes up. That's basically the timbre of all of these plays. And this is a rather ambitious one, I felt, and it went down rather well. It has actually played, I think, once, maybe twice somewhere else, but I think because of its nature, with all of the very, very ultra cheap video stuff, I actually put that down so people could do their own video, of course, but I don't know whether they would. Anyway, that's the end of today's show. I hope you have enjoyed it. So I'll see you next time, and we're going to the land of dreams. If you've enjoyed today's podcast, go to markclark.com.au. Have a listen to some songs, there's plenty there. And there's also some writings, science fiction, novels, and some comedy. See you then.